everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm going to share with you all of the layouts I did for a little mixture of October, and I think there's a couple from September. So they are kind of in order except for the first few at the top. This one was for 12 Days of Autumn, and this is actually November, but I'm going to share with it now. This was for day 11, and our theme was Thankful. I was using the beautiful line from Maggie Holmes, which is the Willow Lane, and then photos from this year's Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. And then I just added a few little butterflies, and it kept it really, really simple. I will eventually come in here and do some journaling. I just haven't quite gotten there, but I really love the way this one turned out. I think it's cute and simple, and it was a scrap list from the fabulous Tracy Banks. And then here is day 12 of 12 days of autumn, and this one was to use a mood board, and I chose the mood board from Paper Issues, and I kind of highlighted the three. There's a purple, a pink, and an orange in the mood board, and I highlighted that. And this is just documenting my daughter and I having some cuddle time, which is rare with her during the day. I also took this beautiful piece of wood grain paper and did a stencil with some gold from Shimmers. It's the textures paste actual, I can't think of what you call it right now, but I used it all up. I was at the very end of its life, so I used as much up as I could. I'll put my journaling here. Again, pretty simple with the embellishments. Lots of hand stitching. This month is full of hand stitching, but I really do love the way it turned out. I think from where I was starting off and where it was going and I wasn't happy with it, this works well. Here is day something. This one was to document autumn colors, sweater weather. And so I love this sweater. I have it. It's super warm and cozy. So that's how I chose my photo, and then I used the word sweater weather in it. There's a heart that you can kind of see, but not really. I kind of want to go back in and stitch it so you can see it a little bit more. So we'll see if I do that. And then this one's talking cuddles with my little guy. So I got one of my daughter and one of my son in there. And again, I like that. And then I was also using the theme of using tags from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club's scrap party for October. And then of course, because we did 12 Days of Autumn during Halloween, we have a Halloween layout here. Don't love it. This is another one I'm debating about what I can do to make it a little bit more appealing. I like that where it started, it just needs a little bit more. So I'm going to put it to the side and kind of look at it and think on it. But it is Jackson last year, and he had a costume change. He was Woody while he was in school, and then he changed to Buzz the Lightyear for Halloween night, and I just think he's super cute and adorable. And again, lots of hand stitching, so I stitched that web there, and it's fun and playful. This was for the very first day, and this one was a school layout because obviously school is a big deal when you're starting thinking about going back to school in autumn and fall and all of that. So this is Jackson's photo from this year going into his second year of junior kindergarten. So next year he actually goes to real kindergarten, and I got a pretty decent photo of him, and it definitely highlights his love of superheroes, and I just love the way this turned out. And I was using my little mini kit from, again, Secret Not Secret Kit Club, which was I think mostly the little dude or something like that from Simple Stories. And I love this one. One of my favorites. It was to document coffee, and I just stitched out the word part of the title as PSL season, pumpkin spice latte. That's the first one I had of the year. You can see my little bump holding the coffee. I'm at work that day. And I used two different lines. So the flowers are from One Canoe 2, and then all these other little pieces are from a Pink Fresh line. And I just combined them together and then bordered it with red to go with my sweater. And I feel like it really gives like a coffee house feel, and I absolutely love the way this layout turned out. Really, really pleased with it. Here is the crazy one. This one was to document leaves, and I went a little leave crazy, I think you could say. This was Thanksgiving last year, and so I was glad to get that documented as well. I'm definitely trying to get caught up on some of these. And again with the florals from the same one canoe too, and then just all the other flowers I had. I fussy cut out all of these ones that have little gold things to them. It took me forever, but I think in the end it looks really neat. And then I did do some more hand stitching with the leaves. It's a very subtle look. You can see it in real life, I think, more than you can see it on camera. And I also stitched in some black. And then this was the theme for I don't know if it was, I mean, the theme isn't for I think the theme was pumpkins. That was the theme. And so I created a really huge pumpkin that I loved. I kind of paper pieced it together. Did some mixed media in the background, again with the stitching. And then I added little frames to each one of my photos to kind of help them highlight them. And then just finished it off with a few little touches of gold here and backed it with a little border just to kind of encase everything in, and some stitching in pink to highlight the pink in the middle and the fact that my daughter's in this one, so it felt like it was worth it. And this one is to this is using autumn colors, so whatever autumn says to you, you were to create a layout. And this is the colors I think of when I think of autumn, these green and yellows and pinks. So I went ahead and used that. Auburn Lane, lots of Auburn Lane from that series. And then these are photos of me when I was starting to show. I'm completely showing now, but I was just starting then. So I documented that. And then my title is just Autumn is my fave of them all. I normally do a layout every year documenting how much I love autumn, so I'm trying to switch it up a little bit because they just all are going to start looking the same if I don't. But I really love the way this one turned out. This is again a scrap lift that if you go onto my Instagram, you'll see who I scrap lift, because at the moment I can't think. It might be Cherie Forrester, but I'm not exactly sure. I love the way this turned out though. And then this one was a combination between Quilter's Vibe and Another Day in the series, and it was to use a patchwork, which worked really well for Quilter's Vibe. And I love the way this turned out too. Another kind of lazy morning, where this is kind of what happens in the mornings. If Jackson's not up with us, we kind of just hang out and just relax until we're more awake. And it's simple but beautiful. I love the way this one turns out. And again, using my Auburn Lane. Here is one to document an autumn tradition. Every year we do the pumpkin patch of some kind, and I have this really fun photo of my guys, and that's how I wrapped that one up. Again with the stitching and a star and a little bit different, not so autumn themed, but I really do love the way it turned out. And I kind of exploded with the stars, and then there was a challenge. Again, I think it was for the Secret Not Secret scrap party to not use like a thicker, and so I instead stitched my title and then used a piece of ephemera instead of using any type of thickers. Okay, and then we go into the theme of candy. And of course, when you think of candy, this is the journaling I need to figure out where it's adding, but when you think of candy, you think Halloween and trick-or-treating, so I created this layout. Pretty happy with it. It was a re-scrap of another layout that I wasn't super pleased with, so I definitely like this one more. Again, with stitching and big letters, and kind of was the theme this month for me with this series. And then eventually, like I said, I just have to figure out where I'm going to put this journaling, and that will be that layout, again with stars and big letters and alphas and stitching. They're all kind of represented in every layout here. And I believe that is all of them for 12 days. And then we go into my other series. So this one, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold, so I apologize if I clear my throat or anything. This one is for the Twisted Sketches, and this is the original sketch that you copy. We try to do it as close as possible to the original sketch for the first round, and this was my take on that. Our added little challenge was we had to get ribbon in our layout, and this is Canada Day from this year. And I really love the way this turns out. It's kind of a beach theme without screaming beach to me. So I felt like I did good with this one, and I definitely was able to represent the thread and everything that was in the original layout. Excuse me, sketch. And then this is the my twist of it. So I don't know how well you can see both of these in here, but that's how I was able to twist it up. And basically all I did is I completely rotated everything. So like you can see the photo and everything is down here, and then the cluster. So the cluster, the photo, I guess would have been here, and then the cluster is just down farther from where the original one was. Again, I was able to get the ribbon in. And this one is to document my daughter and her popsicle. She got to really enjoy popsicles this year for the first time, so it was fun to document. And it's again a fun summary, kind of a little bit different because I had been doing so much fall themed layouts. This was a nice kind of break to do a little something different. So they both turned out to be summer ones because I was giving myself a little break. And then this one's for Lipton Sketch, and this was the sketch layout for the month of October. I love it. Obviously very fall theme, but it's my daughter last year with our pumpkins, and I love the way it turned out. I didn't document, I documented my kids together and a layout that said my cute little pumpkins, but I never documented my daughter alone. So this was my way of doing that. And I totally just lost the stickiness to this little guy, so I'm just going to stick him back on there. And yeah, so I just said cutest pumpkin, and I'm pleased with the way this one turned out as well. It was a fun sketch to follow. And then this is the scrap lift, and this one was really fun. I really love this layout. It's documenting my daughter, and she's better now, but when she was a little bit younger, she still couldn't talk very much, and so she has learned some sign language, and that's all done. You go like this, but she just puts her hands up like that, and so I finally caught it one day, and I wanted to document this because it's just so her. So I love it, and it's pretty decently close to the original scrap lift. The only thing I didn't do is in the original layout, there's a big long strip right here. I couldn't make that work. Just to my eye, it looked wrong, so I just kind of eliminated that idea, but the rest of it was on. And again, some more of this beautiful Maggie Holmes Willow Lane collection for this one. And then this was a special layout I created for Spiegel Mom Scraps. I was asked to create a layout for them to kind of highlight. I used to be a sparkler, and they were kind of just showcasing some of our old design teams from past, and so I was asked to just create a layout, and I just added all my sequins in this fun cut file from Paper Issues. And then this is my son with those little pumpkins, and he actually carved that little pumpkin himself. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, he got to carve it himself, so that was pretty special. And I love the way this one turned out as well. So I have my son and my daughter both documented separately, and then I have a photo of them together. And then the last two, I'm not sure if they're for October or September, but this was kind of my very first layout back in after we moved and kind of in there, so probably September. I'm not sure if it was for anything in particular. I really am not sure. It could be for everyday inspiration, possibly, but anyways, it's just to it's the first layout that's going to go in the new baby's album to document that, well, hello, there's another baby coming, and I really love the way it turned out. I used some clear, I'm so sorry, I'm lost for words today. I used this fun little transparency there and transparency there. That might have been the theme. Maybe it was to use transparency, I'm not sure. And again, some stars and just some neat little pieces that I felt really worked well, and using a paper line that was from Michael's Hot Buy Pad. And then finally, this is my twist on the twisted sketches from September or August. I'm not sure which one. I think we skipped one month. or I didn't finish one, but it's still very close to the original sketch, but I wanted to show you how you could do that but change it up. So I'm using like a different shape but still in the circular motion of the original sketch. And so that was my way of twisting it up for that month. There's a process video if you're more interested in seeing that. But I really do love the way this turned out, and this is to document my daughter's first Valentine's Day. So I think that gets me caught up with all the layouts. I'll get these into albums, and I'll go back to normal, regular monthly layout shares and all of that. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!